Real Madrid will have to go to Camp Nou to mount one of their famous comebacks following their defeat in El Clasico. The 1-0 loss to Barcelona in the first leg of the Copa del Rey semi-final was a body blow for Los Blancos, but manager Carlo Ancelotti believes there is one thing working in their favour. In his post-match press conference, Ancelotti was relatively upbeat, calling it one of Real Madrid's most impressive performances in terms of purely control. Equally, he feels Barcelona will not be able to repeat their play at Camp Nou. I don't think they deserve to win. It was one of Real Madrid's best games in terms of control. If we play like this in the second leg, we'll have more chances. I don't think Barcelona can approach the game like that at home. Xavi Hernandez was critical of his side for their lack of control in the match, claiming it was down to Real Madrid that they were sat so deep. Even so, Ancelotti admitted to Marca that he was not expecting such a defensive approach from the Blaugrana. It's been a bit surprising to see Barcelona play like that, but they've learned to defend very well. They are very strong in that aspect. We lost a lot of balls, and that's not the best thing for us. Ancelotti is probably right in the sense that Camp Nou will demand more ambition from its side, but also in the fact that Barcelona will not be able to repeat such a defensive masterclass. Xavi will take heart from the fact that he should have Pedri, Robert Lewandowski and Ousmane Dembélé available again for the return leg. There was significantly less debate about El Clasico in the aftermath of the event, compared to the usual polemic. It was hard to argue the pattern of the game, and even Thibaut Courtois agreed that Barcelona defended well. Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti claimed that Barcelona did not deserve to win the match, which Thibaut Courtois agreed with during his post-match interview with Movistar Plus, via MD. We dominated the game, but they tried to defend the result after an unlucky goal, and it was hard to shoot on goal. It was very difficult. They have won when they did not deserve it. We played a controlled game, but we didn't find the opportunity to score a goal. It's impossible to argue that Los Blancos did not direct play for the majority of the match, registering 65% of the ball possession. However, with no shots on target, even Courtois recognized that the Blaugrana did a good job at the back. They have defended very well. They concede few goals in La Liga. Sometimes the last pass doesn't come off. It is to their credit, they have defended very well, and we will have to try to win in the second leg. Ancelotti would go on to say that he feels Real Madrid have a good chance of winning if they played the same way in Barcelona, and Courtois was in agreement with his manager. When you lose against Barca, it's always a bad thing. The result is not going to change the focus of the second leg either. We have to win our game and continue. We'll see how we arrive after the league games we have now. Real Madrid rarely enjoy so much control in matches, and perhaps that explains their lack of bite in attack. They tend to thrive on space in attack and more open games, which was evident against Liverpool in the Champions League. Compared with this defeat and their draw with Atletico Madrid, it is clear to see Los Blancos struggle much more when the onus is on them to break down a defense. FC Barcelona overcame the issue of missing 4 key players to defeat Real Madrid 1-0 in the first leg of the Copa del Rey semi-final, as a conservative approach taken by Xavi paid off at the Bernabeu. 1. Vinicius vs Aroho, a mental block. No defender in the world seems to have Vinicius on lock quite like Ronald Aroho. Time and time again, the Brazilian seems to be unable to win the one-on-one face-off against the Uruguayan. Last night, with Barcelona forced to defend deeper, Vinicius was cramped for room by Aroho, and could mostly muster up a number of failed crosses on his weaker foot. The Brazilian even stopped trying to take on his marker at one point, which negated a massive threat. One could wonder whether Aroho holds a psychological edge over Vini now, and the implications this could have in future meetings. 2. Time to move on from Kroos and Modric. For all their quality on the ball, perhaps Real Madrid's iconic midfield duo now lack the legs to impact intense games together. With Barcelona looking to hit on the break, the two struggled in defensive transitions. The informed Dani Ceballos could feel hard done by to not feature at all last night and freshen up the midfield. 3. What to expect from the second leg? Despite winning, Xavi seemed upset after the game at having failed to control proceedings more. With Pedri and Ousmane Dembele likely back for the second leg, we can foresee a more open approach from Barca at the Camp Nou. While that gives the Blaugrana more potential to inflict a heavier defeat on Madrid like in the Supercopa, it could also play into Los Blancos' hands by allowing them more space in offense.